Where do you want to start?
Well, I'll start. I'll start with our crowd, and I don't do that a lot, but I tell you, we were struggling early, and this town is they're Bucks fans, and they just stayed behind us. Like they kept cheering. Um, we had nothing. We had no energy. Struggling without any point guard play other than DeLon being on the floor at times, and they just hung in there. And I tell you, as important as Giannis's 59 was, and as important as Dre, I thought was, and as important as Gary Trent was, and Brooke in the second half, I thought the crowd was just as important in this game because this is one of those games we needed a home crowd, and we had one.
Well, you mentioned the rough start. I know it ended the way you wanted, but at 47-point first half. But outside of Giannis, no one else made a shot until the second quarter.
Yeah.
I guess on one hand, have you seen something like that where no one can make a shot, but then also Giannis kind of keeping you connected by doing what he did?
No. It's rare. I mean, he just kept us in the game single-handedly with his play. We were trying to run stuff, obviously. They knew what we had, and they were up pressuring the ball and taking us out of our stuff. And so, it's funny with Giannis. Not only did Giannis have to score, he actually had to be our point guard as well and bring the ball up. Whenever we took DeLon off the floor, or anybody, Giannis was the guy bringing the ball up the floor. There's nobody that can pressure him. And that played to our favor, but that also can wear you down. It's amazing in an overtime game, and we still got him some rest, So I was happy about that, I guess. But he was amazing.
You mentioned Gary. I know he missed some time, but he hadn't made a three in almost 2 weeks. And then to score 8 points in that third with the rally.
What's so great about this game, like Gary can shoot, and I kept saying it, it's going to come at some point. We had a little play exchange before the game, and I turned to him and said, will you just shoot the damn ball, as a joke. And he said, I'm ready. It was a joke, but everybody started laughing, and then he came out and shot the ball tonight. So he needed to see the ball go in, period. And then once he saw the ball go in, the ball kept going in for him, and that's good for him. Players hang in there, man. You see them shooting. Last night after the game, Gary drove right from here, right across the street, and went in the gym and took 1,000 shots. And I'm not exaggerating, 1,000 shots. And then he comes in here and makes it. People don't see the work just because you don't see the results. Guys are putting in the work. It's a great sign for Gary, and I'm happy for him.
To start that overtime, it just felt like Giannis was everywhere. Hits the jumper, then he blocks that alley-oop attempt, then he gets Brooke the shot, then he hits a three. His
handprint was all over the game. When you think about all the scoring, when you think about having the scoring off the floor that we had, no Dame, no Chris Middleton, no Bobby Portis, no Ryan, so we're down to one living point guard on our team. And for him to do that and for us to score 127 points, though he got half of them almost, every basket was needed.
There's that sequence where he tries to bring it up the floor. Cunningham picks him, and then Brooke gets the huge block.
Brooke, I tell you, I don't know what Brooke did at halftime, but whatever it was phenomenal. Because Brooke struggled the first half, and then the second half, he turned into a demon on the glass, blocking shots. I even thought that the foul call that they called on, I don't know why that's a foul, but it was. And then Brooke was there every time. Then he started rolling more, which I thought was big for us. Got a couple three-point plays rolling down the paint. I thought that was great for us as well.
It just felt like the effort with Giannis and Brooke defensively, they weren't going to let you lose. Just what does it say about those two? I know it's early in the season.
It tells you that we're very connected as a team. We don't like our record. We're starting to like it more and more with each win, right? But it tells you on the inside how close this team is and how much this team believes that we're going to be a good team. Because you don't see that effort from your veteran guys unless that belief is solid.
Doc, could you talk about the flagrant tech and ejection? By my count, closed 56-41 after that. How galvanizing was that moment?
That was big. I thought that was a big moment, but the zone defense, I thought, changed the game for us. Just took them off a stride a little bit, and Dre's pressure. But those, it had already started. We're starting to run, and then that play took us to another level. It almost told us, okay, this is a war, and we're going to go get it. So, yeah, it's amazing how little things like that can change a game. And it also took a guy that was very valuable for them off the floor. And so that was important as well. Where have you been? Okay. Yeah, that was a lot of drama in one game.
Well, speaking of that, hard for us to hear. What was the explanation you were given on the foul with 1 second left in that review? And
I'm going to stay away from that one because that clearly was not a foul. I think we all know that. But yeah, yeah, that's all I got.
Torian scores the final 5 points for you guys in regulation. Just, I mean, it had been kind of a slow night for him, but to get that catch from Giannis, hit the three, and
drive. Like, I thought he even got fouled on one of the drives. I love the fact, we've been talking about telling him, listen, there's lanes, take the paint. And today he did it over and over again. And that was fantastic. When you coach and you keep trying to get guys to do something and it's not natural, and then he starts doing it. Then all of a sudden he wanted to do it every time, and we were like, oh, shoot one. It was great to see him. Like it was like it came on today, that part of his game, and that's going to be a big part for us.
You mentioned Dre. I'm guessing 30 minutes is the most minutes he's played in a game just because he stayed out of foul trouble and did all that. Just the work he did on Cade and kind of what it meant for you guys.
Listen, I thought he was so important. We had a one-man guy pressuring the ball up the floor. It's funny, we were playing zone, but we told him to play man to half court. In the NBA, it's only 24 seconds. So if you're using clock to bring the ball up, and then we fall back in the zone, they didn't have but like 12 seconds to run a zone offense. And I thought his pressure, I thought at times he got under Cade's skin, even though Cade he's so calm, made some big shots down the stretch. I thought he was fantastic. That's what we need from him.
You guys were down a lot today in this game, being an important game, getting back on track, seeing the guys give all types of effort. Is this, one of those games that just catapults you guys and puts you back on track?
I'm always, as a coach, because I've been in this league too long, to say yeah, because the next game can change and then it's a no. But yeah, I thought this game was really important for us. And, it was really disappointing. Like, we thought Dame was going to play. And then, he couldn't get out of protocol. We thought Bobby was going to play. And then he shows up with an elbow. And now you're sitting there like, oh, my gosh, we don't have a lot of offense. And we don't. And then, Ryan. So right before a game to get all that news is pretty tough to handle, and our guys handled it. You can see, I don't know we're going to win or not, but you can see before the game, we were not like we're going to try to win this. We're going to win the game. Like you felt that, and that's good.
Doc, you've seen a lot in your NBA career. For Giannis to come out, just what you're talking about, he scored 22 out of 24. I mean, where do you rank this game?
Yeah, it's up right up there. I've seen a lot of great games as a player. Sitting next to Dominique, you obviously see a lot of great games, and David Robinson and Patrick Ewing. And then as a coach, all these guys. It's funny how a coach thinks, though. We called the timeout, and I'm like, okay, Giannis has 22 of our 24. This ain't good. I'm thinking the exact opposite. Like, we got to figure out how to get someone else involved in this game. That's how you feel. And then after the game, you realize how special that is. But during the game, you're in a panic because you know that can't stay. And then other guys join in, and that was great for us. Thanks, guys.